Hello, welcome back. Now we'll see how to do the elastic IPs and security groups in Amazon. So EIP, elastic IP, is a static IP address designed for dynamic cloud computing. With it, you can mask the failure of instance or software by rapidly remapping the address to another instance in your account. So each EIP is associated with your AWS account, not a particular instance, and it remains associated with your account until you choose to explicitly release it. So while you're terminating them, you will disassociate them. So that's how they are dead. Okay, they are released and they are assigned back to maybe different person or different account. So that's how it is important. If you are losing any data or any other stuff on your cluster, you still have them if you associate to elastic IP address. So it's basically providing static IP address as we do in our home or a company within the network. Okay, so we'll do it on Amazon. So go to EC2 dashboard and you can see 0 elastic IPs, 5 running instances which we got them, and 0 elastic IPs. So let's go ahead and assign. So allocate new IP address. It will ask for a warning and click S allocate. So it will allocate it, assign and allocate. Do it 5 times because we have 5 machines. So here are my 5 elastic IPs. So we got allocated them, but we need to associate the address. So click on associate address and your name of the instance will come up automatically, the tagging. So select the first one and associate it. Right. Similarly, do the second one. So once you do that one, it should look like this, and you got all your IP addresses assigned with elastic IPs, all your cluster nodes, right? So next, again go to EC2 dashboard and click on security groups. So the one created on 21st, I have used this before, so I'll delete these two and keep the one we created on 21st. Yes. So you can't delete the default one, it exists. So HADMINSEC. So we have created this one, and go to inbound, right? Go to inbound in the security group. So you can see the type SSH protocol port range. So if you go to configure ports, and you can see all these ports here, right? In actual case, if you're doing real production cluster now, you need to type, you need to put in each protocol type here, your SSH, and the type here and the protocol here and the port range and the IP address which needs to access, right? Similar to allowing from firewall in your network team or network infrastructure, which we always do in the Linux, right? So there are quite a few ports here, so we can't type in each one of them and show you. So in real world you will be doing that one, but for now, as this is our Amazon instance and we'll be terminating later on, we'll allow only one rule, which is all TCP, right? And allow it from anywhere. So you need to enter it in CIDR notation, like IP address / range, right? So that is mandatory here. That is why the 0/0 at the last. Okay, so this means you can access it from anywhere, right? But we'll definitely terminate the instances once we finish off using them. So there is no harm in doing this one, but in real world you won't be doing this one, right? So you can see that one, right? That is how you create security groups and assign elastic IPs to the Amazon instance, right? So next, let's go and connect using PuTTY. So you can see this one, what we have done all here. So we'll be showing you how to connect using PuTTY, and then we'll move on to the next session, right? There is a document in your course, you can download it. So that will provide you step-by-step procedure for launching instance and connecting to PuTTY, using PuTTY to connect to the Amazon instances, right? So I'll skip all the above part which we have seen hands-on now. So I'll start from connecting to PuTTY, right? So right, here you go. So connecting to Elastic Compute Cloud. So EC2 instances is a bit of dodgy process. We need two tools here, PuTTyGen and PuTTY. So you can go and download it from anywhere on the internet. So that should come straight away from Google. So first let me open PuTTyGen. So here you go. What we need to do is we need to load the key which we have downloaded, right? Select all keys and it will come up. Open it. So you'll get a little notice saying PuTTyGen notice successfully imported. Click OK, right? And save the key as private key, and it will give you a warning without passphrase to protect it, and say OK, right? So I'll save it as Hadoop So I saved it as Hadoop SECK1, okay, and it will be PPK. Save it and close this one. Right. So we need to connect to our master node, right? So I'll show you that in a minute. Right, I have removed the old entries here. So how to connect to master node? So we'll go to AWS console again, EC2 dashboard and running instances. And if you click on the first one, let us say it is our master node in the Hadoop cluster, right? So we have the public DNS here. So for any instance you select, you can find the public DNS here, okay? And this will be your private IPs and private DNS host name. This is basically your host name, which we'll be working a lot with it. So at the moment, we'll go and select the public DNS name. Let me drag this one. So select that one and go to putty and put it here and save it as your master node. Okay, HA master node, save. Load this one and go to SSH and you can find AUTH. Okay, and you need to load the key here, the private key for authentication, which you have saved from the partition tool. Okay, so that is a key point to connect to Amazon. So you can select that one, which is Hadoop SEC, open, right? So session, save. Okay, so let's change the font as well because it'll be a little bit tiny, so I'll go and change it to 12. And now open it. So it will ask for a warning and say yes, and if you log in with root, it will be asking for you to log in with another user. Always you have to log in with EC2 user. So that's how we logged in, and it is successful, right? But we need to log in with root in order to do the configuration for Hadoop. So what we need to do is, it's again a tricky process which I have described in the document. So if you come here, right, so you logged in as EC2 user now, so you need to follow this process which was described here. So you can see if you can connect to EC2 instance from root, then use the following, right? So you need to do that process, and I'll show you in a minute. So we go to su minus sudo, let me clear the screen, cd/etc/ssh. Okay, you can find all SSH configuration here. Before you modify anything, just take a backup of the file. That's how the administrators do generally. Now just open that file and search for permit, right? Permit root login, yes. So this has to be modified as without password. So remove the comment of that line and save that file. Okay, now service SSH restart. So it's SSHD, sorry, right? So the next thing we need to do is modify authorized keys file under root SSH, right? So take a backup of it again, because these files are too tricky to modify as they are having lots of information, key information in it. Right, so you can see a command equal to echo please log in as EC2 user. So that is a command which you will get if you try to log in as a root user before doing this stuff. Okay, so delete until 10. Yeah, it should start with SSH RSA. So there are 3 lines here. Delete all the 3. Right, so save that one. Service sshd restart and /etc init dot sshd reload. Okay, so that's all done, and you can log out and log in back with root from PuTTY. I'll show you that one. We are back on PuTTY here. So what we'll do is we need to select connection data and put in root here. Okay, and session, you load it and save it. Okay, so if you click on open, it should straight away log in with root. So there you go. Right, so this is how you log in with root from your master node and do a bit of dodgy things in the files. So this is acceptable as we are building a cluster for testing, and it's a standard cluster, right? So this is end of session here. We have seen how to launch instances in Amazon, and we have seen how to connect using PuTTY, and we have seen how to assign elastic IP addresses, and we have seen how to modify the files to connect as a root from PuTTY, right? So, and the key generation as well, which is very important. So that's the end of this session, and we'll be looking into actual Hadoop installation in the next one. Thank you.